Hello everyone and welcome back to Mossy Pine Ranch at Elmcreek. We have reached episode number 26 and are now a bit further forward in July. You'll see that I've got a new silo behind me in the yard, and that is because we are now ready to harvest one of our crops, our oats, in our largest and newest field, area number 10. That is now ready to harvest, and it's a bit interesting because we planted that after we planted the canola in our other two fields, and the canola is still a bright yellow and is probably in the last stage of growth, to be honest. And yes, in the next month or the next day it will be ready to harvest as well. But for now it is our oats, and only our oats, so we need to focus our attention on getting them harvested and then dealing with the straw that's going to be a byproduct, and yeah, then using our oats to feed our horses and also store some in our new silo. The leftover oats are probably going to go to the grain mill, the flour mill, and be turned from oats into oat flour. But first of all, I am just driving the tractor over to sort of a midpoint, so we've got an area where we can come and unload the harvester. I'm thinking probably somewhere about here is good to park, and we can come and unload. I will probably have to jump back in the tractor at some point and move it to come and unload the harvester. But let's go get in the harvester, handbrake on. That's a nice touch from this new Lizard tractor which we purchased last time, and we also purchased our new Mack truck, which is very good. So let's go grab the case axial flow harvester. Here it is, still in the older part of the ranch. We can park it in its new home in the new yard once we're done with the harvesting. Let's just quickly swing round and grab the header, which is behind. There we go, we've got it. Let's just carry on straight and drive round the farmhouse area so we don't have to do any funny million point turns with the dolly trailered header. There we are, our two canola fields in the last stage of growth. I do love it when they glisten that yellowy colour. We can swing into the new yard, and it's a large yard, gives us plenty of space for manoeuvring, and we can just plonk the header off here, unload it, and come and grab it. There we go, header on. Let's fold it up, and then we can get the harvester unfolded in readiness. And I need to make sure that we are going to be dropping straw, don't want to be chopping it up. Yep, it is enabled, so we can fire up the harvester, and I'm going to go sort of straight in and just try and do a quick turn, so we're dropping straw on the field, and then we can just stop there, do a lift up, reverse, and then that's given us a bit of space to just manoeuvre for the first main straight. This shed, when I placed it, I didn't realise it was quite going to be in the way for starting our harvesting, but that's not a huge problem. So let's lower and get on with our harvesting. It's anyone's guess as to where we are going to reach in the field when it's all full and the hopper is unable to take any more of our lovely oats. But I'm hoping where our tractor is a good enough rough guess. But yeah, I am going to get all these lovely oats harvested, deposited in our trailer, and then I'll see you when we are finished. And there we are. I'm just unloading the last bits of our oat harvest into the trailer, and that is the whole field harvested up quite nicely. Now I did have to change tactic. The trailer wasn't that useful in the end overall, as luckily we had our new silo in the new yard that gave us the ability to unload after every row there and back. But yeah, the trailer was needed for the headlands, most certainly. We can't go the full area around the headland of the field without unloading, so yeah, it needed the trailer for that. Probably could have done with the smaller one, but after that it was rows, and then we could deposit straight into our silo, which was really nifty. But yeah, that's it all harvested. I'm curious to see how much we have got by way of quantity, and yeah, we'll put it all in the silo and then we'll have a look at how much we've got. But I'm thinking we will probably take a class trailer's worth of oats to put in the other silo, and that will be reserved for our horses to feed them for the year. They might need a little bit more, as we're expecting some newborn, but we will see. Okay, I'm just going to leave the harvester here for now, as I'm going to have to bring the jet sprayer over here so I can get these cleaned up. Let's run back to the tractor and go get that in the silo. Right, off we go. Let's get this to the silo. 26,000 litres in here. And we had a fair few unloads into the silo directly, so I'm curious to see what we're going to have. Brakes on this old tractor are a bit slow, but let's get that unloaded. Fantastic, and we can just get this parked back in here. Beacon off. That's parked up. Let's have a look how much we've got by way of oats. So 66,139 litres. That's a pretty good haul, if you ask me, from that one field. It was a large field, but it is good. And yep, we are going to save around 20,000 litres for our horses, and then the rest we are going to take over to the grain mill. I think that is what it's called. Yep, the grain mill, and we are going to turn our oats into oat flour. And the good thing about oats is 150 turns into 188 flour. So although the price is only slightly higher for oat flour than it is for oats, we are going to get extra from making it into oat flour. So yeah, that's really beneficial, and we're going to save it through to December, as that seems to be the best price. But yep, December, so that's around $1,900 per 1,000 litres of oats. And then if we go down to have a look at flour, we can get $2,000 for 1,000 litres of flour, but we are getting an extra 30 or so parts of flour for every part of oat. So that's really, really good. Okay, so next job we're going to be turning the attention to our straw. We need to get that baled up and sold. We don't have any purpose for straw on this farm. So yeah, we're going to sell it. But before I do, I am probably going to quickly go grab the class trailer and grab a load full of oats. I think it's around 23,000 litres that trailer takes. And we'll deposit that in the other silo so our horses can have a good amount stored up to see them through the whole year. Over the hill, and we can see what we managed to create last time, which is our duo horse pasture, which is gated. It's an open pasture, but we just gated the surround, and there's 2 in 1, so we can get quite a lot of horses there, which is really nice. So we've got plenty of space for our newborn horses once they arrive. Yeah, here is the class trailer. It's looking a little bit grubby, but it's going to be okay for just hauling some oats. There we go. Nip through here, and we can get to our lovely yard silo. And part of the reason for placing this yard silo is we don't want to bring large trucks and trailers in and amongst near the farmhouse where the other silo is. Oats, fill her up. So that's 22,500 litres, and we can go take that to the other silo. So yeah, the other silo is here, so a bit tight. We don't want to be bringing large vehicles around here. So let's just get this unloaded. Perfect. So we can come and grab oats from here for the horses as and when we need them. Alright, that's the trailer back. So let's hop on to the next job, which is going to be sorting out all the straw. I love driving through these little tracks, and we're doing it more often now that we own area number 10. But yeah, we've got all this straw to deal with, so we need to go get a baler. We let go our previous baler, a round baler, but I have a new one in store, and I'm going to go pick it up now. And it is a square baler this time, as that's going to be a bit more efficient for us managing and handling the bales. And then we will be also renting a stacker later to get them taken to the animal dealer, which conveniently is just down the road here. So yeah, I'm going to nip to the shop, get our baler, come back, get this all baled up, and then we can stack and sell at the animal dealer, which is just here on the left. So I'll see you over at the store. Right, at the store, so let's see what they got. So it won't surprise you that I'm going to be buying a mod, and it is the Krone Big Pack 120-80. And this is one that I've actually purchased with Nordic Farming in our Calmland series, and it's just too good to pass on again for this map. It's really well priced and it's a fantastic baler, so I'm going to buy it, and then, you know, if we have the funds to upgrade it in the future, we will do. But yeah, we're going to probably keep it as is. We can't really have a Krone baler that's not the Krone colours, so we'll leave it as it is for now. But just for a bit of variety, I might mix up the wheels and get some Michelin big wheels rather than the two smaller ones. Of course, we can't have it without our mossy pine plate on the back, so let's buy that. And I'm also going to buy this bumper as well, which will go on the front of the tractor and just help nudge any bales when we stack them. So there we go, baler and bumper. Let's just get the bumper first, and then we can swing round for the baler. There it is, the Krone Big, beacons and all. Let's get this back to the farm so we can start doing some baling. Back at the yard, and we can get straight to our baling. So let's unfold it. And I want to make sure we've got the bale size set at the maximum, so we have the lowest volume of bales possible. And by lowest volume possible, I mean the lowest number of bales. So we have the maximum volume of straw in the bales, but we have the, because of the higher volume, less bales, is what I meant to try and say. But here we are, doing some baling. A bit awkward that first bit, because that's where I had to cut into the field, but we can back up for the long straight. Let's get the beacons off. We're not on the road anymore. And off we go on the first straight. Pushing that bale out rather quickly. These are large swaths, so yeah, I'm expecting us to make quite a few bales. We're going at a modest 10-11 mile an hour, so I'm hoping we'll be able to get this job done fairly swiftly. It's into the afternoon now, so we've got to press on. Got this baling to do, then we've got to stack and sell it, and then I'm hoping to try and get some oats to the grain mill to start our flour production. So leave this with me, and I'll see you when we're finished. Finishing off with the last slither, and I've now got that baler tune in my head, the noise it's making to make the bales. It's quite a long job, but we have got it all done, and we can offload the last bale. 44% left in the baler, which isn't too bad. Yeah, I'm very curious as to how many bales we created. That is a lot. I don't know if there's a menu to see the statistics on how many bales we have created, but I'm sure it's going to be quite a lot. And if there's no stat, we should be able to count them with the stacker, as the stacker takes 14 each full load, which is good. So we've got some means of counting in a simpler fashion. I think we can stash our lovely new baler in here, and yeah, we are going to keep this baler. I know we don't have a lot of crops that we need to bale frequently, but yeah, it's good to have a baler, especially one that is as good a price as this. But the stacker, still not convinced we need one, in terms of need to own one on the ranch. We sort of make do with just renting the stacker each time we need it, and previously we had to rent the Anderson round bale stacker, as we were in use of a round baler, and now we've switched to square. Yep, let's head over to the dealership. We've got to go grab the Artemusprime square bale stacker, and then we'll be doing a few ferrying trips between the field and the animal dealer to sell the straw. Now, the straw is not at the optimal price at the moment. It's better to sell it in winter, December, January, as that's when straw tends to be needed to keep animals bedded and warm. And then in the summer months, yeah, straw is not needed as much, and it's also in greater supply because that's when harvest is. So lots of farmers are selling their straw, and in the winter it's obviously not harvest time, so straw is in greater need for those that haven't been able to produce enough of their own. But that's enough about farming economy. Let's get to the dealership and grab our bale stacker. Back at the dealership, let's grab our bale stacker. So bale loaders, and we want the Artemusprime FS22. Here it is, and we can lease it for $4,590. Here it is. Let's get back to the ranch. I've got lots of bales to sell. Back to the yard, and I'm going to try and follow the same flow that we harvested and baled in. So let's get into operating position, and our first bale will be up here. Turn the beacons off. Now, one alternative approach I could have taken with this straw is I could have invested in a larger forage wagon. We use the forage wagon to collect all the grass from the grass meadow after we've finished mowing it into a nice swath. And yes, we could use a forage wagon for collecting all of the straw swath, and as the animal dealer is just down the road, it's not too much effort to drive it down there and deposit it as loose straw. But there's something about straw and bales, they seem to go hand in hand, and it is a better means really of transporting straw in bulk by baling it and then stacking it. I could of course do manual stacking, but that would take a long time, and got limited time as a solo farmer on this ranch. We've got other things we need to get onto, like getting our oats to the productions. But yeah, next time if we're doing straw, perhaps we could look at upgrading our forage wagon. We do need to make it easier and more productive when we are mowing the grass meadow. And we've also spoken about turning our smallest field 2 and 3 merged together near the horses and sheep into a grass field as well, so we can benefit from the silage, which sells for a very good price. But yep, it's all things to think about in the future. I'm happy we bought a baler. We do need a baler. Every farm needs a baler. But yet we don't necessarily need a bale stacker. We of course need to make some hay bales, or even have some loose hay in our silo for our sheep and our horses. But that's all to come. But for now, leave this job with me. We'll get some sold to the animal dealer and see how many trips we end up doing. $47. There we go. See, we had 3 full loads of 14. So 14, 28, 42, and then another 5 to make 47. Which is a pretty good haul if you ask me. And the Artemusprime bale stacker has made light work of it. It's been merrily cutting across this verge here to make life a bit easier and quicker. But let's unload. I think we were getting around $12,000 per full stack, so we can get these sold and take a look at how much we've earned. So 4,000 from that last bunch. Alright, I'm just going to leave the auto stacker here. The dealership said they'd come and pick that up from here later when we were done with it, so that's good of them. Right, let's head back to the ranch and try to avoid some of the crazy drivers around Elmcreek. Okay, back at the ranch yard, and I think that is it for today. It has been a very busy one. I haven't done everything I wanted to do. I wanted to try and get the harvester all washed up, but I'm going to have to save that for next time. I also wanted to get some of our oats to the grain mill to start the production, but I think that's going to have to wait till next time. And yes, we'll have to do that probably in the morning before our canola is going to be harvested. We'll have to prioritise that job. But it's probably fitting because I was planning to buy a nice new trailer, an articulated trailer, to go with our brand new Mack truck. And that's going to be very good for hauling grain and all sorts of other transportation that we need to do. So yeah, that is pretty good. Let's get this bumper dropped off, shall we? There we go. And we can park up. But yeah, that is it for today. We've done a lot in terms of harvesting our oats, and we of course had to deal with the straw that came from it. So we used our fantastic new Krone baler to get that all nicely baled up. And then our friends at the dealership lent us the Artemusprime square bale stacker, and that allowed us to go and sell that at the animal dealer. So yeah, that's pretty good. We saved some oats for our horses, and the rest of the oats are in the silo, ready and waiting for us to take them to the grain mill next time. But yeah, hope you have enjoyed watching. Big thank you for your views, likes and subscribes. If you've got any tips, tricks or things you'd like me to do, then feel free to leave a comment. But all that's left to say is, hope to see you again next time, and until then, I'll catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.